Welcome back, deep divers. Get ready for another fascinating exploration. We're diving into a collection of words, like, a mini dictionary. But,
Not your typical vocabulary lesson.
right, we're going deeper,
Oh.
uncovering those hidden connections and sparking some new ways of thinking.
It's amazing how deceptively simple words can be. You see a word like universe and think, okay, I get it, it's everything. But then you start thinking about all the complexities, space, time, our place in it all. And, well, it gets pretty profound.
Exactly. It's about going beyond the surface, seeing how these words relate to each other, to us, and to the world around us. We'll journey from like the vastness of space to, the nuances of human interaction, all through the lens of, believe it or not, some pretty simple words.
And I think that's what makes this so exciting. We start with these seemingly basic building blocks, and suddenly we're unlocking these incredible insights.
It's like that saying, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. So where do we even begin? We've got this whole universe of words to explore.
Well, let's start with a sense of scale. Words that evoke that feeling of the truly immense. So we're talking universe, planet, and alien, just to set the stage.
Okay, I like it. So universe, as you said, it's everything, right?
Yeah.
The biggest picture imaginable. But then you have a word like planet, something very specific. It's like Saturn with its rings comes to mind. It's one tiny piece of that massive universe.
And that shift in perspective from the vast to the specific is so crucial because it mirrors how we approach knowledge, right? We start with these big overarching concepts and then, narrow our focus to really grasp those specific details. But as we explore those specifics, like Saturn's rings, we're constantly reminded of that larger context.
It's like those rings aren't just beautiful, they tell a story. They tell us about the planet's formation, about its gravitational forces, its place in our solar system, and, well, ultimately, its place in the universe.
Right, exactly. And then there's alien, that concept of the unknown, something beyond our current understanding.
It's like venturing into uncharted territory. It makes me think of those classic sci-fi movies where, we encounter these extraterrestrial beings. That's the ultimate mystery.
And, some might say encountering the truly alien would lead to fear or confusion. But I think it's more likely to spark curiosity, that desire to comprehend, as the definition suggests.
Oh, comprehend. That's a
Oh,
great transition to our next group of words. Chart, grade, report, and fail. We're shifting gears from space to the realm of learning.
it's all connected, though, right? The process of understanding whether it's the universe or a new concept involves exploration, observation, and, well, sometimes even failure.
You mentioned charting progress earlier. I'm wondering, could we consider failing as just like a point on that chart, a necessary detour on the path to actually learning something?
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. We often view failing as this negative endpoint, but what if it's just a data point? Grades and reports, they're like snapshots of our understanding at a specific moment, but the journey doesn't stop there.
So failing isn't the end. It's more like, a signal to adjust course. It's a chance to reevaluate, to try a different approach.
Exactly. It might even inspire us to study harder, seek help, or completely rethink how we're approaching the problem. Just like our view shapes how we describe something, our individual experiences, even those so-called failures, influence how we learn and what we ultimately understand.
It reminds me of that classic optical illusion, the duck-rabbit one. Depending on how you look at it, you see a duck or a rabbit. It's subjective.
Precisely. It highlights the subjective nature of perception, how our backgrounds, biases, and experiences shape what we see.
And maybe, that's how we'll approach an alien encounter someday.
I love that idea. And that awareness of diverse perspectives, of understanding that there are multiple ways of seeing things, is so crucial, especially when faced with choices. Which brings us to our next group. Instead, among, and several.
Choices, huh? I'm intrigued. How do those connect to different perspectives?
Okay, imagine you're in a library, right? Surrounded by several books, browsing among different genres, trying to decide what to read. You might be drawn to a familiar favorite, something you know you'll enjoy. But then you spot something completely different, something that challenges your assumptions. And you decide to explore that instead.
Choosing a path less traveled. It's like, what factors influence our decision to go one way instead of another? Are we stepping outside our comfort zones? Are
Yep.
we seeking new perspectives?
Exactly. It's about recognizing we always have options, different paths to choose from, and each decision we make reveals something about us, about our priorities, our curiosity, our willingness to embrace, the unknown.
It's like those moments in life where we're at a crossroads and we have to choose which direction to go. And sometimes the most rewarding discoveries happen when we take that unexpected turn.
Right. You never know what you might find.
Speaking of unexpected turns, our next word group throws us a curveball. Suddenly. Ever. And suppose. Have you ever had one of those moments where something happened suddenly, just completely shifted your perspective?
Oh, absolutely. Those moments can be jarring, right? They force us to confront the limits of our understanding, but they also challenge us to suppose, to make assumptions and predictions based on, often very limited information.
We become detectives trying to piece together the clues to make sense of, well, the unexpected.
Exactly. And it's fascinating because that act of supposing, even if it leads to, an incorrect assumption, is still part of the learning process. It helps us refine our understanding of how the world works, how things connect.
It's like we're constantly updating our internal maps, right?
Yeah.
Adjusting our course based on new information. And as we navigate all those unexpected twists and turns, it seems like our ability to connect with others becomes even more crucial. Which leads us to our final word, friendly.
Friendly. What a great word to end on. It's so simple yet so profound, especially in the context of everything we've been discussing.
It makes me think about, well, back to Alien. What if our first encounter with an extraterrestrial being wasn't some Hollywood-style invasion, but a moment of genuine connection? A friendly exchange of curiosity and wonder.
It's a beautiful thought, isn't it? It challenges us to reconsider our assumptions about the unknown and to approach every interaction, whether it's with a person, a new idea, or even, yes, an alien, with a sense of openness and goodwill.
We've journeyed from the vastness of the universe to the intimacy of a friendly encounter, and it just goes to show that even the simplest words can unlock these, profound insights. It's been quite a deep dive.
It really has. And as you continue to encounter new words and ideas out there in the world, I encourage you to keep that sense of wonder. Keep questioning, keep connecting, and keep diving deep.
Absolutely. You never know what you might discover. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. We'll be back soon to explore more fascinating connections and, keep those brain gears turning. Until then, happy exploring.
Happy exploring.